Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting video. And I thought I'll do a total of 3 videos paying tribute to The Undertaker. One of those videos is already uploaded. I uploaded them yesterday. So if you want to go ahead and watch that video, you can. But this video plus one other, tomorrow's video, has the same concept where and tomorrow's topic will be different, but it still has the same concept, and that's top 5. Everyone knows what the concept of top 5 is, where you'll pick at least related to wrestling, where it's different items, where's the top 5 of it, no matter matches, moments, whatever, championship victories, whatever. But today I'm going to go over my top 5 favorite Undertaker matches. Now, I'm going to list my favorite Undertaker matches from 5 to 1. Starting with number 5, it's from No Mercy 2005, the handicap casket match. Now, this build for this match was, in my opinion, great because Randy had matches at WrestleMania, SummerSlam, multiple others, uh, and well, Undertaker kept on defeating Randy, until and every single match that he had they had against each other until SummerSlam, where I believe Cowboy Bob came out, interfered in the match, disguised as a fan, and cost Undertaker the match. And then, of course, kept on interfering in the match and winning with Randy, led to this match on SmackDown, where they had the wax figure in the casket of the Undertaker. Taker had the same thing with Randy. Had a wax figure of Randy in the casket and all that. Which led up to this match where it's a handicap casket match where if that all Cowboy Bob and Randy Orton had to do was put the Undertaker into the casket and shut the lid. But the Undertaker had to put not only Cowboy Bob, but he also had to put Randy Orton in the casket and shut the lid to win the match. Of course, the Ortons walked out victorious here. Uh, After they won, they padlocked the lid shut, rolled it up to the stage, put a lighter fluid on the casket, laying on fire. Everyone thought Taker was dead, but that wasn't the first time that happened. So people should have known that he wasn't dead. Because if you remember, Kane did the exact same thing to Taker before Randy and Cowboy Bob ever did. But that's my number 5, my 5th favorite Undertaker match of all time. But going into my number 4, it would have to be from this year's WrestleMania, WrestleMania 36, the Boneyard match versus AJ Styles. Particularly because it was built up so well. Those two really has chemistry, for my opinion. Because it started out at, I believe, Super Showdown, where in that gauntlet for that trophy, and AJ Styles was the last participant. And it was supposed to have been Rey Mysterio be the last entrant to come out, but Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson attacked Rey Mysterio in the back, and so Rey Mysterio couldn't come out and have the last match in the Gauntlet match in against AJ Styles. Then, of course, we've seen these feet with black pants on with the black jacket by the screen. And then we heard the gong. Then out comes Undertaker. And of course, eventually Undertaker would defeat AJ Styles, and then AJ would go on a rampage and all that, saying that Undertaker wasn't originally part of the match. He should have won. And Undertaker, more or less saying that Undertaker or every time that AJ lost a match, he would say or blame Undertaker because he had him on his mind, and all that. And then, of course, set up a match in between the two uh, at WrestleMania. And then, of course, AJ Styles would eventually not only challenge him for a match, but challenge him for a boneyard match, which I would rather just call it a graveyard match, because that was basically what it was. Just a match in the graveyard. Uh, and what a hell of a match they had at WrestleMania 36. From my particular, if you ask me, I think that was the best match from WrestleMania. But before I go on going to my top three, you might be wondering, if I'm paying tribute to Undertaker, why am I not wearing a Owen? Why am I wearing a Owen Hart shirt instead of a Undertaker shirt? Well, that's because I don't have a Owen Hart shirt, or I don't have a Undertaker shirt. Uh, if I did, I would be wearing it. But moving on from that, going to my top three. My third favorite third favorite match of all time of the Undertakers had to be from WrestleMania 17, or as many people will call it, WrestleMania X7, against Triple H. If I had to say, out of all three matches that Undertaker and Triple H had against each other at WrestleMania, this one would be the best one in my opinion. But I would like to add something, but I would like to say that, of course, Undertaker walked out the victor, as he did multiple WrestleManias. Uh, this was one hell of a match. I forget how it was set up and everything because it's been so long ago, and I haven't seen the match in a while. I am going to see it once I get to it. As everyone knows, I did get WrestleMania 17 from Joey Flat from Wrestling Rampage. But of course, I haven't got to it because I have other DVDs that got going that I'm watching currently now. But I still say it's a great match. I know it was, and but what I like to add, the final thing I like to get or say, they say that Shawn Michaels was the first one that faced uh, uh, Undertaker back to back at WrestleMania. Yes, that's true, but they never say anything about Kane was the first one that faced Undertaker twice at WrestleMania. Because if you remember, Kane faced Undertaker at WrestleMania 14, and then 6 years later at WrestleMania 20. And then, of course, they never also say that Triple H faced Undertaker 3 times at WrestleMania. There's 2 of the 3 is back to back. Because if you remember, Triple H faced Undertaker at WrestleMania 17 27, and then 28. But they always mention Shawn Michaels facing him back to back, but never saying Kane is the first one that faced him twice at WrestleMania. And then Triple H facing him be the first one to face Undertaker at three different WrestleManias. They always mention Shawn Michaels. I never understood that. But going to my second favorite Undertaker match of all time, it would have to be from King of the Ring 1998, the Hell in Cell match against Mankind. I say you had to put that one in the top five. Me, I would have to say it's my second favorite of all time because it was very memorable for Undertaker or Mankind climbing the cell, and then when Undertaker got up there, or I should say, Mankind climbing the cell, and then of course climbing to start the match at the top, and then Undertaker making his entrance and climbing the cell as well to start the match at the top, and eventually they would fight. Russell almost hit a soft spot of the cell and almost fell through at the it would be the side of the ring. Luckily, it didn't because that would have been one hell of a bump. Could have ended their career right there if they didn't. And then eventually would make it off to the side of the cell where the announce tables are, and take her through Mankind off the cell. And then, and even Undertaker said it felt like it was a very long time for Mankind to hit the floor. And I can, from his point of view, I believe that will be true. He uh, Mankind would eventually, or they would eventually raise the cage or the cell with Undertaker still on the top, and get the gurney over there, put it Mankind on it, get up on the stage or the rampway, and Mankind would get off, climb at this point. Uh, the cell has been lowered. Taker has been climbed about a third of the way down, and Mankind starts to climb the cell, and therefore Undertaker climbs it and fights a little bit, and then Undertaker chokes him, slams him through uh, choke slams Mankind through the top and to the ramp, and of course one of Mankind's two teeth went through his lip and into his mouth or nose. Uh, Mankind would eventually use some thumbtacks, which was used against him, and Undertaker would eventually win the match. And Mankind would have had some memory loss from that match, even from and that's a statement from Mick Foley himself. One of the greatest Hell in Cell matches throughout history, especially nowadays through the PG era. Uh, Way back, especially the match that the Fiend Bray Wyatt had against Seth Rollins. Uh, in my opinion, what else much is there to say about this Hell in Cell match against Undertaker and Mankind from King of the Ring 1998? Can I say to really give it credit? And my number one favorite match of all time would have to be from WrestleMania 25 against Shawn Michaels. What a match that one was! I cannot describe this word or describe this match to give this match the credit that it deserves. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it from WrestleMania 25. I would say one of the best matches Undertaker had at WrestleMania. Uh, ever. If you agree with me on that, please leave it down in the comment section down below. And that was my top 5 favorite Undertaker matches. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a big old thumbs up. If you disliked it, give it a big old thumbs down. You leave those comments. If you haven't done already, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.